The first thing you're going to notice when this program loads is that it's very easy to be overwhelmed with the sheer number of tools that there are with this program. I don't want you to be intimidated by it. We're going to just take it one step at a time. I want you to understand that layers are a very important part of Photoshop, as we're going to see with this very first lesson. Well, the first thing we need is a picture to work with. For this example, we're going to go to the internet and, using a site like Google, search for images of a koala bear. You can just type in koala and there's the spelling. I want you to work with this specific koala right here. I've used him in the past and he's very easy to work with. I'm going to right click on this guy and save excuse me, and save the image as koala right there on the desktop so that it's easy to find. And save that. You can X out of the internet, and then we are now going to File, Open, and we're going to go to the desktop and find that picture of Mr. Koala. I don't know where he is. Desktop. There he is. Okay. Now we're going to be working, I'm going to give you some options, but I'm going to show you how to copy and paste the koala's eyes up here on his forehead so that he appears to be some sort of alien koala bear. Well, after I show you this basic technique, I'd like you to try this yourself, and then you can just experiment with it and make him changed in any way you see fit. The first thing I want to do, though, is zoom in, because this is kind of a small picture and I want to be able to see the detail as much as I can. So up here where it says 100%, I can change that to 200. And this is a pretty good work area, so that's going to work for today. Over on the left side is a long vertical panel of the most common and basic tools of Photoshop. And we're going to use two different ones today just to give you an idea of how they both work. The first one we'll try is the lasso tool. Now, the lasso tool allows you to draw a shape around an object in a painting to select that object, but it requires a steady hand. What I want you to try to do is to capture or select this left eye only. When it's selected, you can simply do an edit, copy, edit, paste. And what we have actually done, if I want you to stop and look over here for a second, it has automatically added a new layer, and you can barely see it here, but that layer is entirely made up of that one copy of that one eye. So what I can do with that eye now is grab the move tool and click on the eye and move up the copy and place it anywhere I want. And you can already start to see the cool alien-like effect that we're going to create with this guy. The lasso tool is good for what it does, and it's good for this eye because it's kind of blended in. There's not a lot of skin there, and it blends in real nice with the fur. When we move over to this right eye, you see that it's a lot more detailed, and you can see a lot more of the skin around the eye. It's going to be a little bit harder to get around that eye. So I want to take this opportunity to use a different tool. This one is called the Quick Selection tool. And when you click it, as with all tools, I want you to notice up here there are some options for those tools. Alright, when I click on the eye, it puts a circle, well, this is, yeah, let me back up here for a second. This was too big, so right here is the size, and I'm going to, even though it's down on the lower end, I'm going to move it down even some more, like maybe 10. Yeah, that's good. Okay. If you hold it in and move around the screen, it's going to start selecting things on the screen. And you always need to remember, which I just forgot, to go back to the main background layer when you do these things. Now, there. you can see it starting to creep up and slowly select more and more of the screen. I want you to actually practice doing this because I want you to practice using this option as well. This is the negative, and what it will do is if you click outside and hold and start moving in, it allows you to streamline and add precision to the capture that you're doing. And I want to get as close to the eye as I can. There. Now, once again, once this tool has been used, I can simply do a copy, paste. You'll notice I now have another layer. This is called layer 2. And again, you can barely see it, and it's entirely made up of just that eye that I have copied. Using the move tool again, I can click it and move it up onto the forehead. Now, you can repeat that process as many times as you see fit. You can also, once you've got these things on here, you can resize them. Image, transform, scale. It's going to look a little pixelated until you actually apply it, which is up here. Oh, that didn't clear up like I thought it would. Okay, well, there is a way to do that. We'll look at that in a different lesson. But I've seen where you can actually remove the original eyes. Since we're on the koala, let me go ahead and show you how to do that. Using the quick selection tool again, what I can do, I'm going to go back to my background layer. I'm going to select a patch of hair here that is roughly the size of the eye, and edit copy, edit paste. There. And what you can do with, you have a little eraser healing brush. This might be a little too big. Go to the background, VZ. And what, no, I think I need to make it smaller. What I'm doing here is basically the undo button. Stepping backwards is a undo. It undoes the last thing you do. Here we go. With this, with the right size, you can kind of start smudging out some imperfections and blending a little bit. Now it looks like he never had an eye at all. I want you to try both of those effects before you play around with it. I've seen people completely erase the nose. I've seen basically a necklace of eyes going around this guy. I've seen people do things with the ears. So just have fun, play around with the basic tools, and then experiment with some of the other ones here on this basic Photoshop lesson. Have fun!